Hey guys, so I cleaned up the mess downstairs and I thought I would come over here and talk to you guys while I do my makeup. Yeah, so my name is Nicole, if you didn't already know. If you're new to the channel, welcome to all the new people that have been coming around and watching my videos. Like, it makes me super excited to see all the new subscribers, and the more people that subscribe to my channel, the more I feel like this responsibility to you guys to keep it real and be honest and transparent and let you to know what things I struggle with, like in my daily life, and what I'm struggling with today. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So I wanted to talk to you guys about transparency and honesty in recovery, and how important it is for us to be honest and transparent with people that are offering us help, or with other people in general that are in recovery too, because that's where we're going to get our support from. So when I first got, so here, first of all, I'm going to be honest and transparent with you guys about some things that I've been struggling with lately, and then we'll start from there. So lately I've been struggling with second guessing myself. And what I mean by that is second guessing myself about my treatment with my Suboxone doctor, and whether I should start a taper after the first of the year. Like, that's what I've been throwing around a lot. Hey, Frank. I've been kind of really in my head a lot lately about consulting with my Suboxone doctor and talking to him about a taper after the first of the year. And I haven't told you guys about this yet, because I want to make sure that when I do it, that I'm ready and that I'm going to be all in, because I'm scared. And so I've also been struggling with fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of success, just fear out of everything, basically. I'm afraid of it all, you know. I'm afraid of myself and what my addiction is capable of, because I've been in active addiction for so long. When I was, actively in my active addiction. For 13 years, I was in active addiction, and I know what I'm capable of. I know the amount of manipulation that I can do. I know how I can keep myself, in one area and say, well, I'm not ready, but my recovery is fucking strong, y'all. I got strong ass support. I got a good recovery system, and I'm starting to question myself. Am I ready? Should I do this? Should I give it a try? What if I don't succeed? What if I don't succeed? What if everybody sees me trying and then I fail? What if I relapse? These are all things that are going through my mind. And, but I'm still going over the decision in my mind. I haven't even talked to my doctor about it. I've literally just been going over it in my mind. I think the next person I'm going to talk to about it is Neil, and see what he thinks, because, we live together and we're both in recovery. And so, I don't want to taper off of my medication and then just be still in his. You know what I mean? So I have to there's so many circumstances that play into, when a person is ready to jump off their medication. So that's what I've been struggling with lately, is fear and making a decision, And I've also been struggling with second guessing myself in my recovery, because I've almost let naysayers get into my head and make me feel as if my recovery is not valid, And I keep on building myself back up and telling myself, Nicole, you didn't just use opiates. Been watching you for a while. Just want to say hi, and I love your channel. Totally understand what you're going through. I'll be honest. Thank you, Miss Delarue. You have no idea how excited I am to have you on my channel, and welcome to the family. I just felt like I needed to get on here and just do a real raw, this is what I'm going through. These are the feelings I'm feeling kind of live stream, because I feel like it's so easy to come on here and be yeah, I'm tapering. This is what I'm going to do. But we don't know what other people have going on in their life. We don't know their circumstances, or what stressors they have, how, you know, all we see is like minutes of their life on these videos, okay? And how can I ever judge somebody's life from just watching them on YouTube? You know, there's so much more life that we live away from YouTube. So along with that like kind of second guessing myself and that fear, that struggle with that fear, I've also been going back to this place, and I had gotten to a spot where I was really strong and I wasn't feeling like this anymore, but I've kind of reverted back to it for some reason, and I'm not sure why. And I'm going to start I'm going to start digging deeper in my meditation and thinking, but I think I'm reverting back to this, like, is my recovery real, or I'm not really sober mentality, because of my insecurity and my need to have validation. I almost feel like I need a group of people to validate me, to validate my recovery. And then I've also been asking myself, am I using my YouTube channel as validation? Am I using those people on my YouTube channel to validate my recovery, and then I don't feel it on the inside? And so I've really been thinking a lot about this, and I think about these things all the time. Like, I know you guys don't realize it, but like, I'm constantly second guessing and calling myself out on my own motives. Like, one thing that my recovery has given me is like this fucking hella self-awareness. And it's like, I'm always thinking, okay, are you doing this for the right reasons? Are you are you wanting to help people? Or are you also needing them to co-sign that you're recovered? You know, and it's like, I don't want to have to feel like I have to get this like a validation from people. But for some reason, my brain keeps taking me back to that spot. And I know it comes from all my life as a young girl, feeling like I didn't quite measure up, feeling like I wasn't skinny enough, feeling like I wasn't pretty enough, feeling like I wasn't smart enough. So I ask myself these questions all the time. Am I doing enough? Am I helping enough people? You know, because I always want to make sure that I'm showing you guys this side of the struggle. I think it's so easy to come on here and show you guys like happy Nicole, free Nicole, feeling good about myself Nicole. And I watch other creators that are in recovery who get on and they show their happy side and their good side and they're strong in their recovery side. But I don't see many people like getting on here and just fucking telling you like what they think about inside their minds, you know? And these are the thoughts that go through my mind. And I put these vulnerable points of my life out here on the internet, and then I, you know, people comment and let me know how they feel, you know, and it's hard, you guys. And for somebody that's new in recovery, like if I hadn't been sober for 3 years, I don't know if I could handle it, because a lot of people give you their fucking opinion and you don't ask for it. They're like, no, they tell you how they think about you. And I just always want to make sure that I'm practicing self-care and positive affirmations and building myself up, you know, because I don't want to have to need other people to tell me that I'm doing good. You know, it's like, I know I'm doing good. I know I have strong recovery. Why do I feel like I need to make sure of it? You know, it's almost like I know it. Why am I second guessing myself? Why do I keep going back to that maybe I'm not doing enough mentality? You know? I know, Miss Delharu, like, a lot of you guys have been commenting lately, and I've never seen you before on the channel, and it makes me so excited because, okay, let's get back to the reason why I made this channel, and let me share that with you, because I think then I had no support from people that were like me, for people that were on Suboxone, that were serious about their sobriety, that were serious about changing their lives and no longer practicing drug-seeking mentalities and negative behaviors. And I was looking for people that were serious like I was. And I was running into a dilemma. I was running into a problem where I wasn't finding people that were really serious or really being honest, you know, and I still find myself running into people that are telling half the truth. Like, you guys, this is the fucking truth. This is the real deal tea. Okay, I struggle daily with these thoughts in my mind. Okay, I struggle daily with thinking, am I doing enough? I struggle daily with thinking, do I need to get off? Do I need to taper? I struggle daily with the thought of using. Okay, I struggle daily with thinking, oh, well, I want to use a benzo. All the time I think about it. A lot. Because that's the thing I know that I can use and feel it. You know what I mean? And it's like, why do I do that? You know, it's because it's in my mind. I'm an addict. Of course I'm going to think about that. And I try hard not to beat myself up, because I almost feel like I get to this point where it's like, Nicole, you've gotten this far. You shouldn't be thinking that. But that is just a lie. Like, I'm a drug addict. This is going to be going on for the rest of my life. It's like how I respond to those thoughts that matter. And I have to keep reiterating that in my mind. Nicole, you're doing the right thing. Your recovery is strong. Just because you think about using doesn't mean you have to pick up. Because I keep like second guessing myself, almost like, oh, well, you're thinking about using, you must not be doing that good on your recovery. You must be less than. You must be about to fail, you know? And I know, like, I just feel like, does anybody else ever think these things? Do you guys ever feel like that? Do you guys think, oh, well, you know, I must be not really that recovered because I'm thinking about using drugs? And let me just tell you this right now. There's no measure on your recovery. There's no, like, this person's more recovered than that person. It's like a fucking journey, y'all. It is a lifelong journey. I used to think that I was going to get to this point and I was going to be cured. And I was never going to think about using again. And I was going to be, you know, drug and alcohol free without the desire, without the thoughts coming into my mind still. And that has not been the case. And the more people I talk to that are in recovery, the more people I learn that are going through the same thing I'm going through. And that it's a daily, we have a daily reprieve. And you know what that is? We have a daily conscious, like a thought. When you know how I tell you guys when I wake up in the morning, I make a daily conscious decision to focus on my recovery that day and to stay sober. So in the Big Book of Alcohol and Alcoholics Anonymous, it talks about we have a daily reprieve contingent on our spiritual maintenance. Contingent, that means depending on how connected I am to my higher power. Because if I'm not connected that day, if I'm, say that day I come on, I haven't done my meditation, I haven't come on and talked to you guys, I haven't done my prayers, I haven't done anything for my recovery, then I'm not connected, I'm not plugged in. And then I get a trigger, and then I relapse and use. So my recovery is dependent on my connection, my spiritual fitness, how connected I am to my recovery. And each day that I wake up, I have a decision to make. I have a choice. Am I going to connect to my recovery today? Am I going to push through today? You know what I'm saying? And you guys have the same choice every morning when you wake up, whether you're on Suboxone or whether you are abstinent. You have a choice every morning when you wake up. Hey, Michelle, to A, get connected to your recovery, or B, turn away and go use. And that's why we have to practice getting connected. That's why we have to practice prayer and meditation. That's why we have to practice mindfulness. That's why we have to practice talking to other people and reaching out about how we're feeling. Because as addicts and alcoholics, reaching out and getting connected to a power greater than ourselves doesn't come naturally to us. I'll tell you what does. Reaching out and getting connected to a substance. That comes naturally to us. And that's what we used as our higher power, was drugs and alcohol. That's what we used. And now we have to reestablish a connection with a power greater than ourselves, whether it be God, Buddha, Allah, the universe, nature, your home group at AA, this little chat group. We have to establish a connection with a power greater than ourselves and not connect with drugs and alcohol anymore, because drugs and alcohol were our solution for so long. Oh, I'm having a bad day today. I'm going to take a pill. I got into a fight with my husband last night. I'm going to drink some wine. The bills aren't getting paid because I lost my job. I'm going to go shoot some cocaine. Those were our solutions. Drugs and alcohol were what we did to stay sane. So now, in the process of becoming sane again, we have to practice new techniques, new thinking, and leaning on a power greater than ourselves, whether it be, like I said, there's all kinds of things that you guys can tap into as a connection. But your sobriety, your recovery is going to be dependent upon that. So why is that hard, Miss Delarue? This is the thing. We make it hard. We make it difficult. All you have to do, listen to this. This is how simple it is. And I used to say the same thing. I used to say, well, I had no relationship with my higher power. No relationship. I had turned my back on him. I didn't want nothing to do with him. He had abandoned me, and I had nothing for him. What I learned was, if I can just believe that someone else, that my sponsor believes that I can stay sober, then I can do this. If I could just believe that someone else believes in me. And then through that, I started putting those things into action. Now, no. Is that okay? Okay, love you. See you when you get back. Part of staying sober is taking action. Neil went to go pick up Nate. Part of staying sober is taking action, you guys. What happens as alcoholics and drug addicts, we think, okay, I got to get home. I got to just stay in my house and then I won't use. But that's torture, you guys. That's not how we have to start taking action for our recovery. So this is what you got to do to build a relationship with your higher power. Whatever your higher power is, I'm going to explain to you how I built a relationship with my higher power, God. I started out simple. I started out and that's the thing. That's why it's so important, Miss Delarue, for us to get connected to a recovery support system. And I'm so sorry that that happened to you like that, but I'm grateful that you found my channel and that you can get connected now. So this is what we're going to do, okay? The way I started my connection with God, and it was hard because I was scared. I was like, God turned his back on me is how I felt. I felt like I could never talk to him again. I felt like I had done so many bad things that God didn't want me anymore, okay? So this was really, really hard for me. So I started out small. I got this meditation book called Jesus Calling. And I would wake up in the morning, and my sponsor told me like this. She said, when you wake up in the morning, all you have to do is say, please guide me in my recovery today. Jesus, God, Buddha, Allah, the universe, nature, please guide me in my recovery. Show me how to live today. And then that's you. That's you making a conscious effort to turn your will over, okay? Take my will today. Show me how to live. Show me how to live clean. Whatever you want to say. Show me how to stay sober today. Show me how to live my life in recovery today. Guide me in my recovery today. Guide me to stay clean today. Whatever you want to say. That's all you got to do. Take 1 minute in the morning and ask and say that. Thank you, Jesus. Please show me how to live clean today. Thank you, nature. Please show me how to live clean today. Whatever it is. All right? Then get your little meditation book out, whatever it is. I can recommend some good ones for you. I have the Courage to Change. I have the 24-hour a day Alcoholics Anonymous daily meditation. But there are so many. You can download apps on your phone for alcoholic and addict meditations in the morning that will really help you. And I will read my meditation in the morning. Okay? After that, I go about my day. So I've started my day out with consciously saying, guide me, show me how to live. Okay? So I'm starting my day out on the right foot. As simple as it may seem, as tiny, as not a big deal as it may seem, it's going to start your day off on the right path. Starting our day off on the right path is hella important for drug addicts and alcoholics, because one little thing, you guys, can throw us off. One little thing. One little bearer of bad news can throw us off our little path, okay? So then throughout the day, what I'll do throughout the day is, so I've made an effort to change my behavior. And I don't know how you guys were in your addiction, but when I was in my addiction, I stole, I lied, I cheated. I did all kinds of bad stuff. So through starting out in my recovery, I've made an oath. I vowed to myself to change these behaviors, to no longer go into the Walmart and steal stuff, to no longer lie to my husband about how much money I spent on makeup, to no longer be dishonest with my friends when they're calling me and I'm not answering the phone. These are little things. These are little things, okay, that will help you to build your recovery. So little things that you do to change your old behaviors, okay? For you moms who are at home with your kids, and maybe you didn't go out, maybe your addiction didn't take you down the road of like stealing or anything like that. Maybe your addiction was just you not being present with your children. Maybe your addiction was you lying to your husband, and these are all things that we can make changes in when we're sober now. So when you get sober, you make it a daily effort to not lie to the husband today. Today, I'm not going to lie to my husband about how much money I spent. Or today, I am going to spend time with my children and really take part in what they're learning. And I'm going to help them with that. Or today, I'm going to go out to the park and spend time with the kids. Or, really pay attention to what they want to show me today, because before I just ignored them, right? These are all things that we can consciously make decisions and changes in while we are new in our sobriety. And I know it might seem like such a little thing, you guys, but it's the conscious and the mindfulness of making those changes. It's the mindfulness of being present in your life today. Because what we did when we were on drugs and alcohol was we checked out. We checked out of life, okay? And we weren't present, and we weren't mindful, and we weren't a part of anymore. We were just empty. We were just not paying attention, and ooh, I love this highlight. So if you can start making these little changes, you will see your life change dramatically. And I know, for me, when I first started making these changes, you guys, I didn't think I would ever be able to go inside a store and not steal something. But the more I made an effort to change, the more it happened. And I started to grow, and I started to feel like, hey, my life is actually going good today. I'm actually making good choices. We have to realize that just because we're drug addicts and alcoholics doesn't mean that we have to make bad choices still. It doesn't mean that we have to live our lives, in this bubble of bad decisions, Like, we deserve a good life. We deserve second chances. We deserve a new start, a fresh start. And through getting proactive in your recovery, that's what you're doing, okay? You're giving yourself a fresh start. So, I want you guys to take a second with me. And I want to do... So we're just going to say that each one of you guys are on step 1 right now, okay? So I do to the 12 steps, okay? And I'll read a little bit about surrender to you guys. All right? It really, really helps me to read out of the 12 steps and 12 traditions, okay? So the step 1 is we admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. So drugs and alcohol. So just say, my life is unmanageable and I can't do that shit no more. So we admitted we were powerless over drugs and alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. So here's the deal. Who cares to admit defeat? Practically no one wants to say, I can't do this. I need help. So this is what it says in the book. Every natural instinct cries out against the idea of personal powerlessness. It is truly awful to admit that. Glass in hand, pill bottle in hand, we have warped our minds into such an obsession for destructive using and drinking that only an act of providence can remove it from us. So every person struggles with admitting defeat. Every person struggles with saying, I can't do this anymore. But in order to recover, it's something you're going to have to do. You cannot do this alone. You need help. No other kind of bankruptcy is like this one. Alcohol and pills now become the rapacious creditor, bleeds us of all self-sufficiency and all will to resist its demands. Once this stark fact is accepted, our bankruptcy as going human concerns is complete. So basically what they're talking about is internal bankruptcy. Bankruptcy of our morals. Bankruptcy of our values. Bankruptcy of our dignity and our self-respect, our self-love. We have none of that when we're coming into sobriety. When we first decide we're going to get clean and sober, we have lost everything. We are at the bottom of the bottom. When you're truly ready, you will say, I can't take this anymore. I have got to a point where my life has got to change or I'm going to die, you know? And when it's like a crossroads, if you will. When I got to my crossroads, here's how it was for me. When I got to my crossroads, here was DHS on one side holding my son and saying, if you don't make a change in your life, you're never going to see your son again. And that was my crossroads. That was my eye-opening experience. My point of, like, you know, where my desperation. That's where that gift of desperation came. And it comes for all of us differently, but you'll get to a point where you've tried everything and you're just so desperate for help that you'll do anything somebody suggests. Okay? And that's why a lot of us that are on this thread have gotten to a point where we're on the internet. Okay? We're on the YouTube and we're searching for recovery. We're searching for other connections, people that have the same problems as we do, and we're looking. That's what I did, you guys. When I got sober, I started looking for other girls who were on maintenance like I was. I started looking for videos of people who were talking about living in recovery and doing the 12 steps while they were on maintenance medication because I needed support. I needed to know that I was doing the right thing for me, and I felt like I couldn't find that support anywhere, so I needed to make the support. You know what I mean? Here where I live, it's a small state. The state is small, and it's not a big town. So in other states, there's huge support systems for people that are on maintenance, and it's called Medically Assisted Recovery Anonymous. It is a meeting, you guys, for people that are just like you and me. And then there's also all kinds of Celebrate Recoveries and Alcoholics Anonymouses and Narcotics Anonymouses and It's all out there if we just look for it, you know? And I had gotten to a point where I was desperate and I was looking for the support. Hey, girl, yes. Actually, my mother-in-law gifted us that big old giant Joel Osteen book. Okay, so, and here, you know how I was talking to you guys about coming to believe? So come to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. That's step 2. The moment they read step 2, most people are confronted with a dilemma, sometimes a serious one. How often have we heard them cry out, "Look what you people have done to us. You have convinced us that we are alcoholics and that our lives are unmanageable. Having reduced us to a state of absolute helplessness, you now declare that none but a higher power can remove our obsession. Some of us will not believe in God. Others cannot. And still, others who do believe that God exists have no faith whatever he will perform this miracle. Yes, you got us over the barrel, all right, but where do we go from here?" Let's look first at the case of the one who says he won't believe. Okay? So this is for people. Listen to this part, you guys. This is about the God part. And I know some people struggle with a relationship with a higher power. Please, if you do, listen to this. Let's look first at the case of the one who says he will not believe. The belligerent one. He is in a state of mind which can be described only as savage. His whole philosophy of life, in which he so glorified, is threatened. It's bad enough, he thinks, to admit alcohol and drugs has him down for keeps. But now, still smarting from that admission, he is faced with something really impossible. How does he cherish the thought, man? How he does cherish the thought that man, risen so majestically from a single cell in the primordial ooze, is the spearhead of evolution and therefore the only God that his universe knows. So he doesn't believe in God. Must he renounce all this to save himself? Must he, change his beliefs? At this juncture, his AA sponsor usually laughs. This, the newcomer thinks, is just about the last straw. This is the beginning of the end. And so it is. The beginning of the end of his old life, and the beginning of his emergence into a new one. His sponsor probably says, "Take it easy. The hoop you have to jump through is a lot wider than you think." At least I found it so. So did a friend of mine who was one time vice president of the American Atheist Society, but he got through with room to spare. "Well," says the newcomer, "I know you're telling me the truth. It's no doubt a fact that AA is full of people who once believed as I do. It's full of people who are atheist and agnostic. But just how, in these circumstances, does a fellow take it easy? That's what I want to know." "That," agrees the sponsor, "is a very good question indeed. I think I can tell you exactly how to relax. You won't have to work at it very hard either. Listen, if you will, to these 3 statements. First, Alcoholics Anonymous does not demand that you believe anything. All of its 12 steps are but suggestions. Second, to get sober and stay sober, you don't have to swallow all of step 2 right now. Sorry. Looking back, I find that I took it piecemeal myself, piece by piece. Third, all you really need is a truly open mind. Just resign from the debating society and quit bothering yourself with such deep questions as whether it was the hen or the egg that came first. So, just relax. Take it easy. Stop fighting. Okay? Stop trying to figure out everything and just listen. Again, I say, all you need is an open mind. The sponsor continues. Take, for example, my own case. I had a scientific schooling. Naturally, I respected, venerated, even worshipped science. As a matter of fact, I still do. All except the worship part. Time after time, my instructors held up to me the basic principle of all scientific progress. Search and research, again and again, always with an open mind. When I first looked at AA, my reaction was just like yours. This AA business, I thought, is totally unscientific. This I cannot swallow. I simply won't consider such nonsense. So this is contempt before investigation, okay? This is what we do. We go, well, I don't believe in God. I can't do that. And that's not what you have. You don't have to believe in God. You don't have to believe in anything but a power greater than you. Then I woke up. I had to admit that AA showed results, prodigious results. I saw that my attitude regarding these had been anything but scientific. It wasn't AA that had the closed mind. It was me. The minute I stopped arguing, I could begin to see and feel. Right there. Step 2, gently and very gradually begin to infiltrate my life. And remember, you guys, step 2 came to believe that a power greater than myself can restore us to sanity. I can't say upon what occasion or upon what day I came to believe in a power greater than myself, but I certainly have that belief now. To acquire it, I had only to stop fighting and practice the rest of AA's program as enthusiastically as I could. This is only one man's opinion based on his own experience, of course. I must quickly assure you that AAs tread innumerable paths in their quest for faith. If you don't care for the one I've suggested, you'll be sure to discover one that suits if only you look and listen. So, before saying I can't get sober because I don't believe in a higher power or I don't believe in God, take a step back and do your research and realize that it's not about God. It's about your spiritual connection to a power greater than you. It's about connecting. That's what it's about. The opposite of addiction is connection, and we have to have support to stay sober. And that's what the 12 steps and AA and NA and all these A's give people that are early in their recovery and people all over the world that have 20 years sober, is a connection and a fellowship. Many a man like you has begun to solve the problem by the method of substitution. You can, if you wish, make AA itself your higher power. Here's a very large group of people who have solved their alcohol problem. In this respect, they are certainly a power greater than you, who have not even come close to a solution. Yeah, surely you can have faith in them. Even this minimum of faith will be enough. So all you have to do is have faith. Have faith in a power greater than you. If that's all of us together here in this chat, then that's that. You have faith. You can do this. And that's what it's all about, you guys. I was afraid too at first. I thought, I don't know God. I'm not connected to him. He abandoned me, I thought. He'll never, and even if he didn't abandon me, I turned my back on him and he won't want me back. My higher power won't want me back. But wow, was that the least bit of truth, you guys. You know, I have built my faith with my higher power back up through working these 12 steps and by connecting with alcoholics and addicts who are seeking the same recovery, who are seeking desperately for a solution. You know, our solution was drugs and alcohol. But now my solution is connecting. Is connecting with other people. You know, my solution is reaching out and speaking about how I struggle. My solution is positive self-talk and daily affirmations and mindfulness meditation. My solution is faith in a power greater than me. I know, Jennifer, I'm sorry that it's scary for you, and it's scary for a lot of us, girl. Listen, I used to go and sit in the very, very back. Hey, Butterfly Beauty. I used to go and sit in the very, very back of the meeting because I was just nervous because there were so many people there I didn't know. And do you know what happened, you guys? Slowly but surely, I started meeting people. People would come say hi to me. People would reach out to me, and I would have people to sit with. And then I made friends. Now I can go into any meeting across Little Rock and know at least 3 people in the meeting house. Like, seriously. And that's between AA, NA, CA, and HA. Because I have gotten out into the community of recovering alcoholics and addicts, and I have gotten to know people, and I've gotten connected. I know people in all the rooms, basically, and it's because I have no shame in my recovery. And that's why you shouldn't either. There's no shame. If you're doing the right thing and you are working your recovery, you have achieved something that a lot of people can't do. It's really hard to get sober and to change our lives after we've practiced for so long doing the bad shit, you know? So hold your head high. Hold your head high. You're recovering and you're making changes. How many human beings can say that they've lived 2 different lives in one lifetime? How many people can say that they've been to the bottom and now they've come back up to the top and reestablished their life? How many people can say that? How many people can say that they have been defeated but came back and beat it? That's a huge accomplishment. I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed. I'm proud of my damn self. You know, I've been down there, guys. I've been homeless. I've been that girl. Okay? I've been that girl on the side of the road who was talking to herself so high that people wouldn't even look at me. People wouldn't even give me a dime of their money. People wouldn't even take a second to put me out if I was on fire. And now look at me. Now look at me. I'm building a support network. I'm building my life back up. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Okay? And it's like, I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not ashamed, and you shouldn't be ashamed either. Okay? Addiction, like I always say, wants us to be ashamed. All right? Sure, anonymity can be important to some people that have really like important jobs. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, if you work in a job where it's an office setting and you're like a businessman or a businesswoman, I promise you there's somebody else that's in there who is in recovery too. There's more of us around than you think. And there's no shame. There's no shame. When I started speaking out about being in recovery from opiates, alcohol, and illicit drugs, doors opened for me that I never knew would. Sure, some doors closed. Some people had judgments. But you know what? I've surpassed those people. Those people, they'll never go past where they're at because they have a closed mind. And just like it talks about in this book, recovery is about being open-minded, honest, and willing. If you are willing to take suggestions and open-minded enough to realize that not everything is black and white. Not everything is about oh, well, you're either a Christian or not a Christian. Like, there's so much more to being spiritually connected than a religion. The religion part is not what it's about here, okay? It's about the spiritual connection. It's about the connection with a power greater than you. And if you can wake up in the morning and connect with that power, whether it be if you're not a God believer and you don't believe in that, if you can wake up in the morning and say, you know, universe, guide me, show me how to live today. Or you can imagine all of us in your mind here in the chat and say, okay, guys, I'm getting up. We're going to live our lives clean today. You're waking up and you're making a conscious decision to change and be on the right track. Recovery is about action and more action. We're not going to get sober through osmosis. You can't sit in your house and put the book on your head and accept to learn anything, because that's not how it happens. We have to come on and ask questions, take suggestions, and read and learn and look inside ourselves. Now, that's the hard part. I find that a lot of drug addicts and alcoholics, they don't like looking at their behaviors. They don't like being called out. They don't like being told you need to make a change, or when you said that hurt my feelings, or we don't like to look at ourselves. We do not like to look at our behaviors. But if I take an honest look inside at my behaviors from when I was in my addiction till now, I will tell you this. I was selfish. I was self-seeking. I was self-centered. I was a liar. I was a cheater. And I was a thief. All I cared about was what I could get to make myself feel better. And yeah, that was me in my addiction. When I got sober, I was still selfish and self-seeking. And the way that I changed, sorry, bad angle. The way that I changed from being that way was by reaching out and helping other people. Okay? But I didn't start out by reaching out and helping other people. I started out by connecting with one person who was sober, that had more sober time than me. Okay? And I learned from her. And I also got myself into therapy and dug deep. I dug deep into my behaviors. I dug deep into why I searched for validation from others. Because I'm insecure. Because I don't have any self-worth. And I've had to learn and build that over time. And the more that I study and the more that I learn about myself and the more I look at my behaviors, the more I realize that my insecurities and my self-worth are all a reflection of the fear that I have of failing and the fear that I have of not being able to do it perfectly. Just like in my recovery, I always think, oh, well, I'm not doing my recovery good enough. But that's the thing. Recovery is not a contest. There's no perfect recovery. There's no perfect sobriety. We're all going to have slips. We're all going to have moments where we're being shitty or we're being assholes. The part of recovery is being able to identify it. Oh, I'm being shitty today. I'm being an asshole today. Let me make a change. Let me do something different today. You know, the more that I reach out and I help people in recovery, the more I help you guys, the more I help people one-on-one that I talk to every day, the more self-worth I get, the more self-esteem I get, the more self-love I get. I'm like, yeah, like I'm actually doing things to help other people and not my fucking self. You know, I'm actually not just thinking about me all the time. And when we can step outside of ourselves and think about someone else other than ourselves, you will see your life change. Because we are selfish and self-seeking by nature. That's what drug addiction is all about. I need this. I need that. I got to change this. I got to change that. I'm me. I got to feel better. You know, through recovery and working 12 steps, you'll learn how to not think about yourself all the time. You'll learn how to do things for other people and to actually feel good from helping others. Helping others gives me a high. It's like, I feel like when I help other people, it really helps me to live my life differently. Right. And it's hard, you guys. Like, okay, for real, I'm a selfish asshole sometimes, okay? And I know that because I just am. But if I can just literally look at myself and not be so selfish, it really fucking helps, you guys. Sorry, I had to take my medicine. And I take my medicine in the morning and I take my medicine after the in the noontime. And because I just can't take it all at one time. It's just gross. So I split my doses up, and that helps me just, I don't know. I really don't know what's the difference, but that's what I'm supposed to do. So anyway, I guess what I'm trying to talk to you guys about is like, if you're in a maintenance program, because I know a lot of you guys found me because you're in maintenance, like you're doing a great job, and not to get so hard on yourself. If you're working and, if you're not going towards a taper right now and you're just on maintenance, what I want you to do, this is your homework. If you're on maintenance and you haven't, like, if you're not tapering, if you're in maintenance, I want you to get busy and start working on your recovery. I want you to get connected to someone else who is sober and someone else who is working on their recovery, and ask them for suggestions. Hey, Christy, ask them what you can do to work towards your recovery. I want you to start keeping a journal. Listen up, people. I'm talking to y'all. I want you guys to start keeping a journal. Okay? 5. Holy shit. Really? We can only take 32 milligrams. That's as high as we can go here in Arkansas. But but that's okay. Listen, everybody's different. Whatever your prescription is, that's what the doctor thought would be best for you. And listen, you guys, like with the doctors, a lot of these doctors are not very educated about Suboxone. So when you are getting a doctor, you really got to... Oh, wow. Okay. I figured because, you know, they can't prescribe over 32 milligrams. That's against the law. So that's probably why she got her license suspended. So we're going to have some homework today. Okay, guys? So I got 10 of you all in here. Who all's here? Let's take a roll call. I got Jason. I got Miss Delarue. I got Christy. I got Anna. Who else we got in here? Let me see. Frank, that's 5. Sandra, that's 6. Jordan, that's 7. Who else is in here? We got more people in here. Okay, so here's the deal, you guys. Some people might be too shy. Oh, is Michelle in here? Damn, boss, I just got here and I'm here for homework. Hey, goat. Well, here, I want you guys to start doing some stuff with me, okay? We've got to get serious about our recovery, you guys. And I know that some of us, it's hard to get started, okay? It's hard to get started. That's why I'm going to help you out with a little bit of action work, okay? Okay, Michelle's here. Okay, so now I'm getting my head count. All right, good deal. Okay, guys, so the hardest part for me when I was getting started was getting... like starting the action, like doing the work. So here's your homework, okay? Write this down. Everybody go get a pen. I'm going to get my pen out. Got a pink pen. And I'm going to write it down. So, in the morning, everybody's first bit of homework is talk to your higher power in the morning. Remember how I talk to your higher power. And what I mean by that is just say a quick little prayer. Guide me in my recovery. Here's the prayer you're going to say. Okay? You're going to say, oh, let me think. You're going to say, thank you for keeping me sober. That's from the day before. And you're going to say, here we go. Take my will. Take my will. And my life. Take my will and my life. Guide me in my recovery. Guide me in my recovery. And show me how to live. Show me how to live. Clean and serene. Okay, so Christy, you got here a little late. If you're agnostic or atheist, okay, you don't have to pray to God, okay? You just, if you're atheist or agnostic, you're going to be acknowledging that you woke up and that you stayed sober the day before, and you're going to say, take my will, universe. Guide me in my recovery, universe. And show me how to live clean and serene today. Okay? It's just the effort. It's taking the action, okay? If you're atheist or agnostic, you can still do this exercise with us, okay? So let me repeat that. Take my will in my life, guide me in my recovery, and show me how to live clean and serene. And that's just us taking the action, okay? One foot in front of the other, all right? And you guys, like, this is for anybody that's atheist, agnostic, if you're a Christian, if you're not, if you're Catholic, if you're Buddhist. This is just us taking the action and making the effort, because that's the hard part in recovery, is getting started, okay? And if we can stop looking at the differences and start picking out the similarities and get on the same page, okay? That's what it's all about. And I know it's hard and I know it's different, okay? But this is going to help you guys. I promise you guys. I promise. So every morning when you wake up, say that little chant, prayer, mantra, whatever you want to call it, okay? It's just your little meditation that you're going to start your day out with. Take my will in my life, guide me in my recovery, and show me how to live clean and serene. Okay, so that's how we're going to start out our morning. All right. And then we're going to end our night. So I'm going to start you out with the morning, and then we're going to end our nights. And all you have to do at night, is say thank you. Thank you for helping me stay sober today. That's it. Just thank the universe. Thank your higher power. Thank the stars. Thank the group. So let me write that down. Second, thank you. So all this is the action, you guys. This is the action that we're taking. We're waking up. We're making the decision, okay? We're asking for the help, and we're deciding. So in the mornings when you wake up, you're going to do your morning mantra, your morning chant, your morning prayer, okay? Then you're going to make that decision, okay? Today I'm going to do my recovery. I'm going to take the action today. All right? And then at night when you go to bed, you're just going to say, you can be laying in the bed beside your husband, your old lady, whatever you want to do. Thank you. Just make an effort to say thank you, okay? So those are the two things we're going to do when we wake up in the morning when we go to bed. Now, throughout your day tomorrow, okay, and for the rest of the week, when I'm going throughout my day, and this is going to help us all with our mindfulness, okay? When you're starting out your day in the morning, I want to challenge each one of you guys throughout the day to think of things that you're grateful for. You know, if you're at home and you're watching TV, I know it may seem so lame, but like, how grateful, I mean, you have a roof over your head and you're able to sit at home and watch TV, you know? If you're at work and you're doing a job, how grateful, how awesome you have a job, you have work to do, you have pay that you're getting paid, you know? Sorry, my lips are chapped. Other things that we can do for our homework. Oh, I'm so mad. You guys, I have been really doing good with my eating healthy, and I think y'all will be so proud of me. I've actually lost 3 pounds. So, throughout the week, just try to be mindful and think of things that you have to be grateful for throughout the day while you're at work, all right? And then also, let's all start keeping a journal, and that's all. I'm not going to load you guys up with any more homework. Yeah, well, I say that because I think when I say, oh, I think a lot of people, like, I don't want to seem like, oh, I'm so happy. But you guys, like, I didn't used to be like this. I used to be miserable. I used to be so disappointed. I used to, like, hate life. And so I really am grateful now. I really am grateful to have my little house that I have, you know? Like, this, I remember what it was like to struggle daily. I remember what it was like to not have a place to live. I remember what it was like to not be able to stay clean and sober one day, you know? So, oh, you're welcome. You guys are helping me, and just by you guys allowing me to, like, talk with you and share with you works for me, it's a freaking blessing. Like, I'm so, it helps me. So, if you guys will start keeping a journal and just journal how you're feeling each day, okay? And then at the end of the week, like on Sundays, oh, Jennifer, I'm glad. Then at the end of the week on Sundays, I know, Christy, I'm really, really being mindful of what I put in my mouth. Real talk, you guys. And I usually am not mindful about it at all. Usually I'm like a damn Hoover vacuum cleaner, eating everything in sight. At the end of the week on Sunday, when you, after you've journaled all week, go back through your journal and read it. Read what are some things that you're struggling with, and look in there and start to identify places where, you know, hey, look, this is what I have been going through here. Or, because what will happen is you'll start to see patterns. If you journal and you're truthful in your journal entries, like the only person that's going to read it, you guys, is you. So don't hold back. Don't be ashamed. All right. It doesn't have to be like a high-tech, beautiful journal. Just get yourself a little damn notebook and write down how you're feeling every single day. If something comes up and you got some drama that comes up, write it down. If you get into a fight with your significant other, or you wake up and you feel cravings really bad, write it down. If you relapse and you go use, write it down. Write that shit down, okay? Hold on, I think the boys are home. Coming. Sorry. Go ahead. Write it down, and then you can go back. Yeah? How was your day at school, buddy?
Stupid mommy.
What's wrong, Nate?
He said shoulder and tried to choke him or something.
Okay. Hey, I'm going to get off here. Nate needs to talk to me about something important. Do your journals, and I'll see you guys later on, okay, about 7-ish. All right, love you. Bye. Okay, baby, come here. Tell me.